Hey everyone, welcome back to Farming Mini. I'm Jason, and today I want to show you how we've been staying on our property off-grid, plus some of the improvements we've made on the property ever since we bought it. But first off, let me start off by saying, if you're new to our channel, we purchased this property at the end of March this year, and we've been working on it ever since then, slowly here and there, because we have our other property and our house. This is 16 acres that we bought, and it was completely just raw land, mostly wooded, except for this front part that has a little bit of pasture. And if you've watched some of our videos before, we did a video on how we cleaned up this front area, which was completely covered in just overgrown vines and random trees that were just grown up and overgrown. But we came in through, and I had a little help because I hired someone to come in with a bulldozer and help push this driveway. In our last video, we talked about this being a 1,600-foot driveway from this road all the way back to where our home site is. Now, some of the other things we've done after we got the driveway pushed in and graveled is that we come through the sides here, and I tilled it up with the tractor and planted some seed. And I was a little bit late on doing this. Usually when I do it at the end of September, first part of October, I was probably middle to end of October, but I got some rye and some fescue mix put down, and it is really taken well. I'm happy with the growth that we've had so far in this, and I think it looks really good. And as we walk up to this section here, once again, we caught some of this on video on some earlier videos of us working on this property, but this was another overgrown area that we have pretty much got cleared. Right there's a few vines and just some random little bushes that we're going to get cleaned out of there. But we've got some persimmon trees that are naturally here, so we're going to let them go. Had this huge cedar tree right here that I just limbed up a little bit, and a couple other little, I think that's a black walnut right there, that I'll get cleaned up and hopefully be able to save. But not sure if I'll keep this natural or maybe put some type of mulch in here or replant some other trees, but we will continue to work on this and continue to make changes. And now we've come up to the part of the property where we've actually it gets pretty heavily wooded, and what I had to do was put a temporary gate in. I just cut down a little cedar tree, use it as a post, had this old farm gate at our house. But as you can see, the property at least has some overgrowth or trees, wooded, whatever you want to call it, and it's definitely a lot thicker in the summertime than it is now. But I had to put that gate up because the property beside us is for sale, and because we have a gravel driveway, people would come down this one and actually have it on my trail cam of people actually pointing and showing people the property, which is my property, not the one for sale. So they're not going to have very much success selling that property. But as we're going to keep walking, because again, we have 1,600 feet of driveway to walk. And again, I just really enjoy just the look of it with the fresh gravel and the grass on the side. Keep in mind, we're in December, almost the end of December, and it's not as green or it doesn't pop as much as it would when we had the spring hit for us. Let me show you this right here. The guy that did our driveway, I think, did a fantastic job. He put a nice crown on the driveway, which pushes all the water up to the side. We've had a bunch of rain, and depending on what part of the country you live in that you're watching this from, we've had a bunch of rain here in South Carolina. But here's our first culvert pipe that he ran across the driveway, and it seems to be doing a pretty good job, because that's the water that it pushed from one side of the driveway to the other. So very happy with the work that this guy was able to do and especially for me not to be able to be here as much to watch him, because he really was able to capture the driveway that I wanted and the area off to the side that I can get my grass planted and to have the look that I really wanted. So we're going to keep walking and I'll show you our next little stop. And this is where the property actually starts to open up. From the road to about here is roughly 100 foot wide by 850 foot deep. But right here at the start of the property, we have some huge trees right here. And when everything is in full bloom, they've got all the leaves on them. It's a beautiful canopy to drive under through here. And I mean, obviously there's still a lot of growth through here, but those are some huge trees, different varieties. We got poplar, we've got some varieties of oaks right there, but man, I can't imagine how old those trees are. But right through here is where the property actually starts opening up and kind of gives us a really nice rectangle part of the property. But there's the corner marker right there, and it shoots right on down that way. And then the first part of the property that we have opened up, and what I think will be most useful eventually once we figure out what we're going to do with it, is it's going to come off the driveway right off of that curve right there and go right back through this way. So if you can see, you come off the driveway, make a little Y through here, and again, I've shown some of the footage of this on other videos of us coming through here and cleaning this out. We've got some firewood logs there. We've got some that's cut up right there. I've got some trails for my kids to go through with their four-wheeler and dirt bike. And this is another nice little part of the property where it's fairly flat through there, and not 100% sure what we're going to do with it. I have a couple ideas, but really got to wait to see what we purchase to decide on what's going to go back there. But we're going to keep walking, and we're making our way down the home stretch here, and it's going to open up, and pretty much the driveway will straighten out here. Once again, really enjoy these larger oak trees on the property that, man, when they are in full bloom, that's such a pretty drive down the driveway. We've even we had some evergreens that we've purchased, and I have them over at the other house, and been looking for a place to put them, and no better place than somewhere right here, where actually the property line is just behind it, and that's where the other property, which is actually like 24 acres, but it goes on behind our property. But we decided to mound up some of this dirt we've had laying around, plant these evergreens in here, and it fills this little hole right here once they grow in. And I figured even if I decide to move them at a later time, you know, I can always dig them up from there and move them to a different spot on the property. But I think I'm going to like them right there. But yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this little walk down our driveway, but let me show you how we've been staying on the property off grid. Right there is our camper that we purchased, and that is right there where the property opens up for the home site. So let me get you down there and talk a little bit about our off-grid living. All right, well, here it is. Here is how we've been able to stay on our property off-grid. This summer, we purchased the camper, and we picked up a Gray Wolf 29 TE. This is a travel trailer. It's roughly 36 foot long, and it gives us a queen bed in the front, and it gives us a bunkhouse in the back, and that's perfect for the kids. It gives them their own spot, their own actual little room. And right behind this door here is an outdoor kitchen, which is awesome. It gives us another refrigerator, little cooking station, and a sink in there. I'm not going to get into a lot of the details on the camper part because I just wanted to show you how we've been able to stay on our property without having power or water on the property. But speaking of that, let me walk you over here and show you the power system for our camper. This is our little generator station. It's a little storage shed we built for this thing real quick. Run off propane. A little hatch here to access all this, and obviously we were able to lift this thing off to get the generator out of there. But this is a Furman generator. This is a 3,000 watt on propane and 3,200 watt on gas, but we haven't put gas in it yet. I've always just run it off propane, and it's always done really well for us. So that's our power system. Oh wow, we got a buck running through here. That's really cool. Don't usually see that. But anyways, over here to our water station, and we've got an IBC tote, 275 gallon. I've got a little solar charger here that runs down to a battery that you'd put in a lawnmower. Got it plugged in. Got a little switch, and then that goes up to a pump that gives us about 5 gallons per minute, and we haven't had any problem with it. That's been more than enough to, I mean, it's almost just as much as being at the house. I mean, as far as pressure wise from our water. But all we do with that is use it for whatever we need it for. If we're washing equipment or doing whatever we need for water, and then we just fill up the camper on the fresh water tank that it has on board. And so that's how we run off grid here at the property. And so far we've stayed out here probably 5 to 7 weekends, and we've had a blast. We found several rocks around the property, put together a little fire pit. We come over here, we work during the day, on the weekends we enjoy a nice fire, some s'mores with the kids, and then that way we can make the most of it, the day of getting work done on the property and having some good family time and being able to stay here on the weekends. And that we've had an absolute blast with it. Now when we get a house built, we'll figure out what to do with that. We may even keep it here on the property and you know, use it for off-grid living on the weekends as well, or if we have company over. But just wanted to give you guys an update on what we've been doing, what we're able to work on and get accomplished this first year of owning this property. We really have enjoyed the camper and the whole off-grid thing. It's been a lot to learn, a few things that had to learn the hard way, but it's been good. So anyways, that's going to wrap up this video on our update for the property. So if you guys enjoy the video, think about giving us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.